We're going to talk about separating reds from blacks. With a stripper deck, you have a great possibility here. You can sort through the deck into, oh, we got an extra blank card. Thank you, Magic Makers. That's a gaffed card that you can use for other effects if you want to write a prediction on. It's also a stripped card. So we're going to separate out the reds and the black cards. You can do this by manually sorting them into piles, but I prefer just to up jog and down jog them. And the reason I do this is I want to show the audience that there are reds and blacks, and this is going to be the point of our demonstration. We're going to try and separate these cards. Now watch this subtlety. If you spin out the black cards and plunk them on top, you've now reversed half of the cards. Here's where the fun begins, because the trick really hasn't even started. You can show that the red cards and the black cards are cleanly separated. But remember, you've secretly turned the black half around. So now you're going to very openly and deliberately, face up is my preference, shuffle the reds and blacks together and spread them out so that people can see that they really are intermixing. And I make a big production number out of this. I push and shmush so they see the whole deck get integrated, both red and black. And I ask the spectator to take it one step further, to shuffle the cards. They can shuffle it overhand if they like. I pass it to another spectator. They can riffle shuffle it. That's all safe and fine. People can cut it in any configuration. They don't have to even be complete cuts for this. We just make a big old mess. I once again show them that the deck is, I say, even more mixed. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds good. Now we're going to strip the cards red and black, but we're going to do this in increments. And I'm going to leave the cards face up so you can see part of what happens. Remember, 26 of the cards are facing one way, 26 are the other way. I could ostensibly just give them one yank and separate out all of the blacks and all of the reds, but that's too obvious and it looks like a stripper deck. So we're going to be a little more subtle than that. And here's how we do it. I start with the bottom portion. I take about the bottom half and pull my hands apart. That strips the bottom half blacks out, more or less. It's okay if you miss a few. And I reverse cut some of these on top as a flourish. What we've done is we've partially unsorted the deck, and you'll see that to be true. There's a lot of reds together, a lot of blacks together, but there's still cards that are mishmash in the middle. Don't worry, we'll get to them. So I've stripped out the bottom. I'm now going to do a swipe through again for anything that's remaining. Do a series of cuts. And what I do is I do a final strip through with my fingers just in squaring the pack to see if anything else drags out. If it does, I'll strip it to the top. Do the mystical pass, wave my hands, and lo and behold, when you spread the deck, every single card, red and black, is separated out into colors. This floors people who play cards, bridge, gin, rummy, poker. This is a very impressive demonstration. So let me just rerun that shuffle for you again. Red and black with half of the deck reversed. You take it, legitimately shuffle in reds and blacks and make a big production number out of showing that that's the case. You can squish them together like I do because it's nice to see the cards coalesce, and it's a real convincer because it's actually true. How refreshing. Truth in magic. The cards are then shuffled multiple times by spectators, cut, shuffled, overhand, however you want to do it. You re-show the cards to prove that they're more mixed somehow. And now the strip sequence. Leave the top half alone, but strip out the bottom section. Just give them a yank and they'll come. And then do a series of reverse cuts on the top. Don't worry about missing a few because you may. It's very common. Our situation halfway through is lots of cards separated, but a big chunk in the middle that are still integrated. You're going to get those next. You give them a yank out, series of reverse cuts, and you can do, as I do, a final check, strip through, just run your fingers along, see if anything pulls out. It didn't. That means you're done. After the mystical pass, all red, all black, and that is one of the best card demonstrations that does not look like you're using a gimmick pack of cards. Hope it helps you the way it's helped me.